Jonathan Majors recently made headlines when he passionately described Meagan Good as his everything, his teammate, manager, business partner, lawyer, lover, and the soon-to-be mother of his child, essentially confirming her pregnancy. While fans buzzed with surprise and excitement, the emotional ripple effect on her ex-husband, Devon Franklin, was hard to ignore. Devon, who once envisioned starting a family with Meagan, had been told during their marriage that she did not want children, an admission that deeply shaped their relationship and eventual split. Now, watching her embrace motherhood with Majors, a man still dealing with the fallout from serious domestic abuse allegations, feels like a sharp emotional blow for Devon. This announcement, far from being just joyful news, has stirred up conversations about timing, trust, and personal transformation, leaving many questioning what truly changed for Meagan, at what emotional cost to those she left behind. According to sources close to the situation, Devon Franklin is not just surprised by the news of Meagan Good's pregnancy, he is deeply and emotionally shaken. The revelation that Meagan, his ex-wife, is expecting a child has sent shockwaves through him, shaking up emotions he had carefully tucked away since their separation. While Devon has been publicly dating someone new and trying to embrace a fresh chapter in his life, Meagan's step into motherhood has acted as an emotional trigger, pulling him back into a space he thought he had left behind. It is as if the walls he had built around his heart are crumbling, unable to withstand the weight of what this news truly means to him. Insiders reveal that Devon has been sending emotional late-night texts to those close to him filled with longing, questions, and moments of self-reflection. Some even suggest he has privately reached out with heartfelt messages that carry traces of sadness, unresolved love, and quiet regret. It is more than just reminiscing. It is the ache of watching someone you once dreamed of building a future with now live out that dream, only not with you. What was supposed to be a clean break and a hopeful restart has now become a painful reminder of everything he lost and everything that could have been. Despite his new relationship, it is evident that Devon's heart is still wrestling with the past. Meagan's pregnancy has forced him to confront the emotional void he may have been denying. Some close to him even say that he wonders whether he walked away too soon, or if healing ever truly took place at all. This sudden internal storm has left him unsettled, with old wounds reopening in the face of Meagan's joy and forward momentum. The emotional divide between them is clear. While Meagan appears focused, radiant, and content, Devon seems trapped in an emotional rewind. He is not just looking back with affection, he is confronting a very real sense of loss, and maybe even regret, for a life they once planned together. Friends and insiders are beginning to worry that Devon's public image of moving on might not reflect the emotional reality playing out behind the scenes. What once looked like a closed chapter now feels more like a story that never reached its true conclusion. As Meagan embraces the joy of new beginnings, Devon is left staring at a version of the future he once held in his heart, only to watch it unfold without him. And in that quiet heartbreak lies a question that only time can answer. Can closure truly exist when the heart still hopes for something more? Even more complicated is the fact that Meagan had previously made it clear she did not want children. During her marriage with Devon, this makes her sudden embrace of motherhood with actor Jonathan Majors all the more emotionally charged for Devon. To him, it likely feels like an alternate reality is unfolding, one where his dreams of starting a family with Meagan are being fulfilled, just not with him. That alone would be hard to witness for any person, but especially for someone who still holds space in his heart for the past. Publicly, Devon has maintained grace, but sources suggest that privately, he is battling a storm of confusion and pain. He is reportedly asking mutual friends what changed, why now, and whether there is still space for him in Meagan's life. Adding another layer to this emotional triangle is the fact that Meagan's current partner, Jonathan Majors, is still dealing with the aftermath of serious legal and public scrutiny. This has led many to question not just Meagan's decision but her timing as well. For Devon, seeing Meagan start a family under such chaotic circumstances may feel both confusing and heartbreaking. It has reopened questions he may never get answers to. Is it timing? Was it him? Or did something in Meagan shift after their separation? The whispers are no longer just quiet murmurs. They are quickly turning into a chorus of speculation as insiders reveal new layers to Devon Franklin's emotional turmoil. Despite appearing to have moved on and currently being in a new relationship, sources close to him say that he may be secretly hoping for a second chance with Meagan Good. Her pregnancy has reportedly stirred something deep within him, something that perhaps he believed had been laid to rest long ago. This news has brought old emotions rushing back to the surface. leaving him in a state of reflection and emotional vulnerability. Friends say Devon has not fully healed from their divorce, and Meagan's decision to embrace motherhood, especially with someone new, has reignited a storm of unresolved feelings. While Meagan is stepping confidently into a new chapter of her life, one filled with growth, purpose, and possibly motherhood, Devon seems caught in the past, reevaluating what was lost. His social media posts have become increasingly cryptic, filled with subtle expressions of nostalgia and heartbreak that fans are starting to notice. Insiders claim he is even questioning whether he gave up too soon or whether there is still a sliver of hope left. Meanwhile, Meagan is building something new, possibly a family alongside Jonathan Majors, and her focus is firmly set on the future. The emotional contrast between them is striking. Meagan appears emotionally liberated and full of hope, while Devon is described as battling inner conflict, wrestling with regrets and what-ifs. The heartbreak they once shared is no longer mutual. Meagan seems to have found peace, while Devon remains in the shadows of uncertainty. As these undercurrents swirl, the emotional tension between the past and the present grows stronger. It is no longer just a matter of two people who once loved each other moving on in separate directions. It has become a story of unspoken feelings, unfinished conversations, and the quiet pain of watching someone you once cherished find happiness without you. For Devon, this might not be just about Meagan and her pregnancy. It might also be about confronting his own healing process and the choices he made. The love story that once captured public attention may not be over just yet, whether it ends in reconciliation, closure, or continued distance. One thing is clear: the emotional threads that tie these two together are still present. And as Meagan steps forward into motherhood, the world watches to see if Devon will finally find peace or try once more to rewrite their ending. Devon Franklin's recent behavior on social media has left many questioning whether he has truly moved on from his past. Though he publicly claims to have found peace and even has a new girlfriend, his actions suggest otherwise. For weeks, he has posted emotional quotes and vague captions that feel more like cries for help than inspirational messages. Now, with rumors swirling about Meagan Good's possible pregnancy with Jonathan Majors, who she is not only in a serious relationship with but also reportedly married, two things have reached a boiling point. The emotional weight Devon is showing online feels like more than surprise. It looks like heartbreak. After all, Meagan once stated firmly during her marriage to Devon that motherhood was not on her radar. Fast forward to now, she is seemingly embracing the idea, and fans are picking up on all the hints: red carpet appearances, subtle Instagram captions, and recent workout videos where a noticeable baby bump may have been visible. In one such video, Jonathan casually referenced pregnancy as if it were common knowledge, setting social media ablaze. While some saw the moment as spontaneous, others believe this baby might have been planned for a while. Meagan's shift in mindset post-divorce is striking, and Devon's reaction only highlights how much this chapter stings. Whether or not the pregnancy is real, one thing is clear: Devon is struggling with the idea that Meagan is now giving to someone else, emotionally and possibly physically, what she never offered him, and he is doing it in the public eye. Meagan Good's recent interviews reveal more than just career ambition. They shine a light on a woman fully stepping into her power, embracing both clarity and purpose. Her conversation with Scott Evans was not just about Hollywood or future projects. It felt like a declaration of who she has become. Meagan spoke about traveling the world, stepping behind the camera, and creating spaces where young Black girls can thrive. Ideas that once felt like distant dreams now sound like concrete plans. But the biggest shift came when she spoke about motherhood. Once hesitant and unsure, Meagan now talks about having a child with a sense of confidence and immediacy. There was a warmth in her words, especially when she hinted that she and Jonathan Majors might already be planning for that next step. It was not just what she said, but how she said it, with assurance, joy, and the energy of someone who is finally ready. It is clear that her relationship with Jonathan has played a major part in that transformation. She described their bond as creative, adventurous, and deeply aligned, qualities that make the idea of raising a child together not only feel natural but exciting. This love, rooted in shared values and mutual respect, seems to have helped her tap into a new level of emotional readiness. But while Meagan appears to be moving forward with intention, not everyone is cheering from the sidelines. Her ex-husband, Devon Franklin, is reportedly having a much harder time processing the news. Even though he has a new girlfriend, his recent behavior, late-night texts, cryptic posts, and emotional conversations, suggests lingering feelings. Some insiders claim that Devon is even trying to talk Meagan out of this new chapter, citing concerns about Jonathan's past legal troubles. In particular, sources say Devon has been sharing articles about the effects of stress on pregnancy and questioning whether Jonathan, given his recent controversies, is the right person to co-parent with. Whether these gestures come from genuine worry or are subtle attempts to reignite something that has long ended, one thing is clear: Devon is struggling to fully let go. The contrast between Meagan's forward momentum and Devon's apparent hesitation could not be sharper. While Meagan is preparing emotionally and possibly physically for motherhood openly and unapologetically, Devon seems stuck in a loop of what-ifs. To the outside world, it may look like a man battling regret, not because he still fits into Meagan's future, but because he realizes he no longer does. Yet, Meagan has outgrown the uncertainty. She is no longer the woman waiting for the right time or afraid to take bold steps. She is embracing her evolution with grace, and she is not allowing the shadows of her past to dim the light of her future. Jonathan, despite public opinion still being divided due to his past allegations, appears to bring a sense of stability and inspiration into Meagan's life. And whether the world agrees with her choices or not, Meagan is clearly living for herself now. Her actions are deliberate, her love intentional, and her path forward unmistakably her own. Meagan Good's whirlwind romance with Jonathan Majors ignited intense conversations from the start and, not always the supportive kind. The timing, particularly in the shadow of her high-profile divorce, raised eyebrows, while some saw it as a woman reclaiming her peace. Others were puzzled by her choice to dive headfirst into a relationship clouded by controversy. Jonathan, facing public backlash from resurfaced voice recordings where he admitted to physically harming his ex, Grace Jabari, saw the tide of public opinion turn sharply against him. Just as those accusations regained traction, he and Meagan announced their engagement, fueling speculation that her involvement was more damage control than devotion. Whispers grew louder when reports emerged that Meagan was footing the bill for their lifestyle, from pricey dog training to allegedly covering Jonathan's child support. That last revelation stunned many, considering the child isn't hers. According to insiders, she's bearing so much of his financial burden that it's beginning to strain her own resources. Rumors even suggest her mortgage might be at risk. Despite these concerns, Meagan has stood firm, revealing in interviews that she chose to follow her intuition and faith, even when friends, family, and industry peers urged caution. She admitted everyone warned her about Jonathan, yet she believes in making her own choices and living her truth, regardless of outside noise. But that doesn't mean critics are quiet. Some, including her ex-husband Devon Franklin, allegedly believe Jonathan is using Meagan to restore his image. However, many also point fingers at Devon, recalling how his role as a preacher forced Meagan into a mold she never fit, one of the perfect Christian wife. Her individuality slowly eroded under the weight of public scrutiny, particularly from judgmental members of Devon's church community who labeled her unworthy, questioned her faith, and made her feel like an outsider. The emotional toll was profound. Meagan confessed that the criticism nearly crushed her spiritually and even made her consider walking away from church entirely. Her experience wasn't just about compromise, it was about losing parts of herself to meet someone else's expectations. So while her current relationship may raise questions, it also reflects a woman reclaiming agency. However imperfect the path may look from the outside, Meagan prioritized her inner peace, mental well-being, and fragile faith over everything, even marriage. When she and Devon tied the knot, the harshest criticism did not come from outsiders, but from fellow Christians who scrutinized her character, her husband, and their lifestyle in a way that blindsided her. During the first couple of years of marriage, things took a darker turn during a public speaking engagement when a woman publicly shamed Meagan for her clothing, questioning her modesty and fitness as a pastor's wife. Devon quickly stepped in to defend her, but the humiliation went viral, intensifying the quiet battles Meagan was already fighting. Despite the support she received from some, Meagan endured a storm during the marriage. When she eventually chose herself and walked away, many cheered her for reclaiming her peace. Meanwhile, Devon struggled to let go. In interviews, cryptic posts, and heartfelt confessions, he admitted the pain of seeing his identity shift from a married man to someone navigating the unfamiliar territory of sin. His emotional breakdown after signing property papers as an unmarried man revealed the weight of the loss. While Meagan was gracefully building her next chapter in silence, Devon's grief played out publicly. But things took a sharp turn when Meagan began dating Jonathan Majors. a move that stirred controversy due to Jonathan's legal troubles and turbulent public image. The same people who once praised Meagan's strength began questioning her judgment. And with whispers of a pregnancy, the stakes grew higher. Rumors spread that Devon, after months of searching, wanted to reconnect and stand by Meagan again, but she was already deeply involved in another chapter. Now, what remains is an unexpected love triangle. Jonathan, tarnished but determined to build a family. Devon, lingering in the background, heart still tethered. And Meagan, caught in the emotional whirlwind between what was and what could be. With the possibility of a baby, one man holding her hand and another reaching for it, the real question is whether Devon is chasing closure or still fighting for love. Either way, Meagan's story is moving forward, and this emotional saga may only just be heating up.